Hello, everybody. Thanks again for joining us here. We're about ready to get started, so take your seats. My name is Matt Taylor. I'm the president and CEO of the Greater Lakes Chamber of Commerce, and I'm happy to be here with you today. I've had a great adventure this weekend with my daughter. I was on the East Coast, so we'll be back. So, but it was fun, and I'm glad we're back home, and got a great program for us. I'm really excited about this, and I'm excited to see where we go. So, with that, just a couple of quick announcements here. We've got coming up next month. I'm going to tell you about next month's luncheon. It is going to be on May 5th, Cinco de Mayo, and it will be right here in this building. And we are going to be welcoming from the Washington Retail Association, Renee Sunday, and Matt Hurst. From the Washington Retail Association, they're going to be presenting retail in a post-COVID world. So we're talking about strategies and what that is hopefully going to look like from the Washington Retail Association's point of view. So don't forget, be sure to join us for that. I'm excited for that. It's going to be a great one. A pretty impressive show apparently. So we're getting that all set up for you guys, and that'll be May 5th, right here in this building. Keep an eye on the website for that, and also those others for networking events coming up. I'm working on setting up our networking after hours, which will probably be next week. And then our morning meetings will be on the fourth Tuesday, and that will be virtual, so we're still just going to do it virtually. So please do join us. Again, keep an eye on the website, check those. We'll have that information as well as these others and email that's all. Well, we are also continuing to work on our 4th of July event, and I've had a few reach out to me, and appreciate that. We're still working on getting a few things like insurance and stuff set up before we can move forward with sponsorship opportunities and opportunities for you guys to participate in that event. So if you are interested in participating in the 4th of July event, we're going to be setting up some family style meals. We're working on some music. We have links on that. And we're going to be working with the Arts and Arts Foundation to business environments as well. So should be a great day. And so if you're interested in participating, please reach out to me via email or just stop by and say hi at the end of the day or at the event sometime. Just my mailbox or director. Love to chat with you about it. I love having you involved. So other than that, I think that's all I've got. Maybe over the next episode. Excellent. Let's get started. I'm just going to invite you guys to join us up on stage here today, and we'll get things going here. Thank you for being here today, and let's welcome to the stage our panelists for our discussion today. I'm so sorry.
Good afternoon, everyone. Good morning. I don't know how it is at this point. My name is Erin Pryor. I work with Pryor Homes, and I'm also a member of Standing Women's Change. It is the Facebook group that I started a few years ago because I had gotten to the point where I was so done with the whole preconceived notion that women can't get along for the collective good, to empower each other and empower our communities through it. I will say I had no girlfriends as of 3 years ago, and I jokingly say I came out of public 3 years ago because I have a severe social anxiety. And I feel that it's so important, especially at today's day and age, that we really work together to build each other up and build up our communities in the process. And if I was a part of the solution, I determined that I was a part of the problem. And I'm very blessed to meet and friends Sarah through all of it. And Rachel, I'm Rachel outside of that. She's become a part of the group. And with PNW Movement of Change, we handwrite cards to people. We do meal trains where people are in need and somebody has a surgery or something, and we provide meals to them, or Christmas, adopt a family at Christmas. You know, be a part of the change, because if we're not, then we're just going to accept what's going on in our world. And I'm done with that. I think that we all need to show love, grace, compassion, mercy, and kindness, and put our best foot forward to represent who we are as women, and kill that stigma that women can't get along. So thank you so much for coming. I'm really excited to have both Sarah and Rachel. Sarah, tell us a little bit about yourself.
I have a long running story that I have a boy raised in Alaska, grew up in Alaska. My dad was a dog musher, and then I wanted to get out of Alaska after my first 2 years of college with a business degree. And so I learned nationalism, and I worked in the national science industry for about 12 years and hated it. At the end, I hated it, and I decided one day that I could do my own business. I was doing a niche in, especially after the 2008 economy crash, that small businesses were still suffering, and social media was starting to take over. So I started off a press to help small businesses with their social media. That is still running strong today. And through that, through a chamber meeting actually, my name was not on the hat when some more development manager was resigning, and a friend at the Johnson Chamber was like, hey, you should run this farmers market. And I was like, I don't know the first thing about farmers market, social media, and I have a fashion design degree. And she was like, well, you still look good. So I'm just going to work from home and go get fruits and vegetable waste. But I applied and I got the job, and this was my 8th season with this whole farmers market. And then I was approached by USDA students to create a market during the COVID. So we opened up the students on the market in 2020 to great success. And then I also run the Salem Farmers Market. So that is definitely the majority of my business right now on social media and all of that. That's so
Hi everybody, my name is Rachel Sobrin. I work with Redfin. I met Erin because we do work together. She does the lenders, the main side of it, she works for Howard. I've always been in the title escrow type business, worked at the Northwest listing service for 6 years, so that's just been my niche. And then I started to get my real estate license 3 years ago, and I love it. Born and raised in Washington, love it here. And that's it.
I keep turning it on. I guess I would say anything about myself. My name is Erin Pryor. I relocated here from Huntington Beach, California, where I was from Hot Springs with Huntington. Was actually on the service when I was a kid, and I've been home hunting since I was 20 years old. My husband actually got shipped off to the war back in February 2003, and I ended up getting into home hunting. And I've been married now for 22 years in September, super excited. And we have 2 kids together, and I absolutely love the Pacific Northwest. I'm really known actually for growing a lot of vegetables. And so it is a community, and you said it is a community because with growing your own food and giving it to somebody else, it's your love and passion, and you're giving somebody else love and passion for your growing that food. And so, what would you say is your most exciting aspect of the farmer markets?
Well, there's quite a few. I call them win-win scenarios, but one of the biggest ways that I feel the farmer market community is that sense of people understanding where the food comes from. A lot of our farmers are within 5, 10, 15 miles, and have even some farmers that are 1 mile away from the market. So you know that your food is fresh that day, and you're getting a relationship with the farmer to learn about the process that led you to get to you. Then the other aspect that I love is that the farmer's market is a business incubator. There's not many other places that you can find where somebody can spend a few $100s for small fees or little insurance that attend people and pitch their business idea to a community and find out how that's effective and how it's received, and then what changes have they made. I'm super proud that Snohomish Farmers Market has had 6 vendors go on all over the stores, local in the community. That just warms my heart. Yes, I understand, but some of them still lack in some of the booths because they know that's $35 right now on marketing, more than great advertising, more than social media. They're going to get in-face customers and be able to talk about the business. So that makes me awful.
What do you love about serving members of the community for Ryan? Because I mean, I don't know if we're selling on this going to be the most stressful transaction that will be.
Yeah, especially right now. What do you feel as a woman in this industry? Because I mean, I know and you know it's a very male dominant industry. And so what do you feel like you bring to the table that through being a woman in the success that you've gotten?
I think the biggest thing that I love about helping people find homes is I love to connect with people, and it's a huge purchase, and it's great when you're just connecting with them and you're making friends with people. And it's the most exciting thing for them when they get the first key to their first house and you help them do it, especially in this market, because this market is insane. So it's very, very exciting. And when I get to do it, and especially being a woman, when there's a lot of top dogs out there that are male, it makes you, when I hit the top 5 in the MLS, I was like, hey, I did that.
And it's an accomplishment.
It's an accomplishment, and it's great. It feels great.
Okay, so tell me one thing about you that drives you.
Yeah, I like food. Just seeing it all come together at the end of a day. I don't think many people have even a fathom of understanding, except vendors, of what it takes to close down a street and the prep that goes into that event every single week. And when it is 3 o'clock and we are opening and 98% of things are okay, it's kind of magic. It's my moment to take a breath and be like, okay, we did it again, and now we get to do it all over next week. But the drive of somewhat perfection, I'm not going to lie. I want it all perfect. I don't want holes. And seeing that all come together. And then at the culmination, the end of the season, getting all those numbers into a spreadsheet, it takes about 8 to 10 hours to input everybody's sales and everything. And seeing that number and seeing it grow in the last 5 years so exponentially means that we're reaching more people are understanding that shopping locally is the way to go.
So being a grower myself, you know what I love? I'm addicted to growing food, as a lot of people know, but is especially with the heirloom varieties and the stories that come behind the seeds. I mean, there's some seeds that I have that are from all around the world, and it talks about the story of the farmer that produced that seed 100 years ago. And so what is the most interesting thing that you've seen that you can identify?
So there's a disclaimer here. I don't grow anything. Like, that's why I have farmer friends. I do not grow things. I kill plants. I kill succulents. Air plants don't survive in my house. So I know very little about that, but I love watermelon radishes. I love their color, the beauty. When you cut inside of them, they kind of look pretty standard green on the outside, and then you cut in, you've got this beautiful ombre pink white. And they taste delicious too. But I think one of the things I love most about the produce is seeing kids experience produce that they wouldn't expect the first time. Watermelon radishes, kohlrabi. We've had some incidents with radishes that were a little bit too spicy for a kids club, but learning experiences.
I'm growing wasabi radishes this year. I'm super excited about that one. Well, and what I love, and just to kind of play on that, I love that my kids, since the ages of, 8 or 9 and 13, they will eat anything from my backyard. And I love that children are introduced to foods from the backyard, because let me tell you, if you haven't had backyard produce, you don't know what you're missing. It tastes so much better than the stuff that you buy in the store.
That's why we're friends.
So tell me, Rachel, what is one instance that you feel that being the woman that you are was able to give a leg up to one of your clients that you really felt satisfied from?
We were loaded with these questions, and I'm not prepared or ready to answer them today. Actually, I would have to think about that one, Think about it.
Okay, so then tell us about your first sale.
Boy. Oh, that's a good one. So I had just gotten my license, brand new to Redfin. It's all techy, super scary. I do love tech. That's why I started with them. So my system was down where I couldn't get on and log in to see where my client was. So I had to call our tour hotline and find out where they were. So I go and I meet the client there. We connected right away. They were fantastic. And they're like, we want to write an offer. I'm like, no, you don't. I don't know how to write the contract. But you got to fake it till you make it. So I get in my car. I call my designated broker. And I'm like, can somebody help me get on here and help me write this deal? And they're like, we thought you already knew how. I'm like, I came from title and escrow. I don't know how to write a deal. So they hopped on and they got me to get everything. We ended up winning my very first client and we won our first deal. So it was very exciting.
That had to be kind of thrilling because going from not knowing anything. But then I'm going to go back to the teamwork.
Yeah.
Right? I feel like we have become a society bred by I instead of we.
Yeah.
Because we can do it together.
Mhm.
Other people know things that I don't know. You know probably a lot about farmers markets that I have no idea. Same thing with, right?
Yep.
With real estate. And that plays on to the whole P&W Women of Change thing is coming together and working together because we all had walked backgrounds. We all have experiences that have gotten us to the point we are today.
Mhm.
And if we can use those experiences to collaborate, we can have fun times.
Yeah.
Right?
Yep. Working together.
Okay. What's new for this year that you're excited about for the farmers market?
Excited is a little bit of an overwhelmed statement. So I'm excited at this market right here where we're sitting that Festival Street will hopefully be completed and will give us a lot more space, a little bit open platform, and we won't be kind of running into so many of the people trying to utilize the park and kind of be blocking that for them. Snohomish, a little bit of a different feeling about that one. The city had decided to move us, really willing of us, but we've moved, and so we're having to make the best of it and just kind of trusting that myself and our vendor family can work together and figure that out. It's gonna be an uphill climb, and then they might move us all over again next year. So, and then Stanwood is
that's
just
a lot.
seeing the growth, seeing the consistency in that market, and kind of hoping for that to keep on that trajectory this year.
So the farmers markets, do they have fun things to do for kids too?
Yes, 2 of our markets have, we call it the POP Club. It's the Power Produce Club, where kids come and they do an activity. Generally, they learn from the WSU Extension Office. They provide us staffing, or we have a staff member that is interested in early childhood education, and they do an activity that's based around fruits or vegetables that they can try or they can try to grow. And then when they have completed the activity, they get 2 wooden tokens to go spend with the farmer of their choice at the market, or they can save them up. A lot of kids save them up or pull them together so they can buy a flat of berries or something like that.
Oh,
That's
so
adorable.
cute.
That's adorable.
I can tell you this one kid, he was probably 10. He came walking by the booth with a zucchini that was about that size, and he was eating it like an ear of corn. And I said, did you get that here? He said, yeah. I used my $2 tokens and the farmer let me have this entire zucchini. And I said, are you going to eat the whole thing? He's like, heck yeah. He's got a skateboard in one hand and a zucchini in the other. And I said, how are you going to get home? He's like, I don't think it's going to make it home. It's so good. And I was like, okay, we've touched that one.
It really is. I mean, I tell the story of when one time a few years ago when our son was about 9 and our daughter was 13, I want to say, they were all wanting broccoli. And so I went out in the backyard, I cut 3 heads of broccoli out, and I just steamed them salt, pepper. Between my husband and 2 kids, they ate all 3 heads of broccoli because it tastes so much better. All right, tell me, you have lived up here your whole life. What do you love about representing the community as far as being a realtor from the state that you've grown up in?
Because I've been here, so I know a lot of the areas, so it helps me with clients and it helps connect with them, especially if they're looking in certain areas, you know something about it and you can connect with them about it. So it really helps being raised here and knowing the different areas and what it can bring to them if they're looking in certain areas, what they're looking for.
Is there anything, because I mean, I'm sure you get a lot of incoming clients, people that are new to Washington State.
Mm-hmm.
Is there one thing that you would tell your clients to absolute must do up here in Washington State?
What they must do. I like skiing. I tell them
Yeah.
that they have to ski.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Do you
Stay
ski
out
yourself?
of Seattle nowadays.
Yeah. Don't go to. Do you ski yourself?
I do. I've been a couple of times. I love it. I have never been back because I just get too busy, but I absolutely loved it.
A funny ski story is one time my husband and I went down in California. I used to be friends with this radio host, and she was really popular and stuff. And so anyway, we went on a ski trip with her. And I'm not even kidding you. The first run down the slope, it was the end of the season, and my skis caught. And so it got really fast, and the only place I could stop, there was this woman and her daughter right there. So I opted to fall, and I totally screwed up my knee. And they had a what is that thing called where they put you in and they ski you down?
Yes.
And my husband was like, "I should get you a shirt that says I went skiing with Lauren Kitchens and got this broken leg." I've never skied again. No, I will not ski again. Okay. What is your favorite thing to do up here in the Northwest?
Last year, well, during COVID, I discovered that Costco had these really great inflatable paddleboard things. And so I bought one, and then I went out a few times. And if any of you know, like Terry Bakovich, she's a big water baby. Locally, she also grows food to give away. But then I went out with her, and she let me borrow one of her kayaks. And I was like, oh, this is next level. Like, I need a kayak now instead of this inflatable little thing that I'm flailing around on and can fall. This is like, I can store my drinks. I can store my GoPro. So yeah, kayaking is definitely, especially right out of Lundin Park.
Is there any place that you suggest to actually go kayaking? Is this the park?
Lake Stevens is great. Maybe not on a super busy weekend because everybody's out with their boats, but Lake Stevens is great on a weekday.
Yeah. So does it get really busy out here? Because I live in Silver Lake, and that lake
Very
gets
busy.
so busy during the summer.
You can hardly get your boat launched when we had a boat. Can barely get it in there. Parking's horrible.
Yeah.
Super busy.
Well, it's funny because I used to be on the surf team, but now I'm actually afraid of water. So
You are. You went the opposite direction.
I went the opposite direction. As a businesswoman, Rachel,
Mhm.
what do you feel is your hardest challenge being a woman in business and real estate?
I think sometimes you feel like the men overtake things. They can sometimes talk you into things or take over, I guess you could say. So you feel like the little person.
Yeah.
So just knowing how to talk to people and interact with people, I think that helps, and being genuine.
Let's talk about being genuine. You know, a lot of you don't know me, but the group that I run, I have 1.5 thousand, so 1,500 people in my group or something like that. And I started it based off of no caddy drama BS is my tagline. Nope, not going to. I mean, everybody in my group knows I will kill it faster than you can blink. I constantly have events on my property. I will look at somebody in the face that I've never met before, and I say, you bring that here, I will kick you off my property, no problem. And it's funny because everybody sees me as a sweet, loving person, and it's like, it is zero tolerance. But being genuine and being authentic, it's like the other day, I mean, I'll be honest with all of you, I was struggling. I was having a really hard time. My eyes were puffy from how much I cried, and I don't cry, right? I don't cry. And I looked at myself in the mirror that night. I was like, what the heck is happening right now? But anyway, so I posted in my group, and I think I started off in like, I'm a piece of crap. I'm this, I'm that. And it's like, these are the things that are in my mind right now. But being genuine and being authentic and showing my humanity for other people leaves everyone else and affords everyone else the opportunity to be genuine and authentic themselves. And I think that we're in a crux right now in our world that people don't want to be sold. People don't want a bag of goods. They want your genuine self. And 20, 30 years ago, oh, no, you keep your mouth quiet.
Yes.
You don't say anything. And I will say that that's probably one of my biggest successful things about who I am, is because I'm not afraid to just be real. And people are craving realness more than anything. I mean, look at me. I have rainbow hair, right? And I'm a salesperson. I don't know anybody else in my business, and there's lots of them, that has colored hair. Because in my opinion, if somebody's going to base the quality of my work off of the color of my hair, I don't want to do business with them anyway. Because I am a real authentic person. I don't want to try and sell someone or keep somebody just because I'm going to get paid. No. I want to be happy. I want those people to be happy. And if people feel like they can't be happy with me just because the color of my hair, well then,
Don't do business with me.
nope. Genuine and authentic. What is one thing that you feel that you bring as far as your authenticity that helps catapult the farmers markets?
I think it's a lot of what you're talking about. I think any of my vendors can approach me and know that for the most part, I'm going to be real with them. If they're asking me for something that I can facilitate, we will work together to get that done. If I can't, that's not happening today, but send me an email and we'll figure it out next week. With customers, I've learned a lot more, especially in the last few years. I think some of those keyboard warriors have been out in full force when they like to complain or offer suggestions. I've just been super honest and genuine and be like, that's great. How about you volunteer? Because that turns it back around, the ownership on them. We can't fix everything. We can't do everything in our business. So why don't you help? If you feel that strongly about it and it's something that you are that passionate about it, you can come in and help. Or why don't you volunteer for one day and see what this takes to set up, and then you can give more feedback on how this is done. I'm sure Kim knows this from Aquafest. You get, and social media, as much as I get paid from doing it, it has become a place where everybody feels like they get to put in their 2 cents. And I am the first one to jump into the Lake Stevens community or the Snohomies and be like, hi, I'm actually the manager that you're talking about. Yep, the one with the tattooed arms and the crazy blonde hair. And I would be happy to jump on a phone call with you, but I'm not going to stand for you bashing something that you know nothing about, or you bashing a vendor or any of that kind of stuff. I think I went on
Which
a
is
tangent.
so important, right? Because, sticking up for our fellow humans, and not just for our fellow humans, but for ourselves in an articulate and professional manner. But then also, kudos on you for having a call to action that when somebody says, well, what about this or what about that? It's like, well, how can you help with that?
Generally, I stop you know what you should do? I said, oh, hang on. Do you know what you should do? Volunteer. Yeah. Not for us necessarily, but for any area in your community that you feel like needs more support, or where you're finding lacking, by all means, take your volunteer hours there.
Absolutely. And that's part of why I built PNW Women of Change, is because I'm like, I am so done being on the sidelines and saying, I want this and I want that. Well, if I don't do anything about it, then, it's just going to sit there. Tell me about one time with one of your clients being genuine and authentic resonated with them.
I had a client that was in a really tough situation. They were not approved for very much. It was also a VA loan, which are fantastic loans, but they were just harder to get by because of COVID and the interest rates being so low. I couldn't get them into a house. So there was a time they wrote about 5 offers, and they're like, well, and I'm like, can I just be honest with you? And they're like, yes. I'm like, do you want to know what we have to do to win this offer and how I can get you into a house? And if you're going to lose out over $10,000, you want me to just tell you what you need to do? I said, yes. So I did that, and they actually I was fearful of saying, hey, you have to waive this inspection because it's your right as a buyer to have those things. I felt
horrible for having to present that information. But then I was like, you know what? I want you to win. If you really want it, are you going to feel bad if you don't do these things? And they said yes. Signed the waiver, they got the house, over $10,000. They ended up even getting the inspection. I got a pass-fail for them. So it was really cool.
Well, and it's about educating clients
It's about
because a lot of
educating.
times people don't understand what that $10,000 equates to in a
Yes.
payment and stuff. And
Yes.
so it's like, if you really want the house, then, you know, I'm here for you. And well, and the whole waiving of the inspection thing, it's what I always tell my clients, and I know you do as well, is that, yeah, waive the inspection, but you could still get an inspection so you know what's going on.
Yes.
But okay, awesome. Now, I'm just sitting here thinking.
Yeah, she's thinking of good ones, you can tell.
What is one thing that you would like to see brought to the community of Lake Stevens and Snohomish and surrounding areas?
Inquiring minds on the Lake Stevens community are chiming in right now in the group. Trader Joe's, no.
Oh, yes. That has been on my list.
I'm not actually sure because I do think that we have a lot in both of the communities of Snohomish and Lake Stevens if you're willing to go out and experience it. We have Centennial Trail as a way to get outside. We have the lake if you're able to get access. I mean, I could sit here and talk all day about sidewalks for better access to everything, but a movie theater isn't going to stop teenagers from misbehaving at the park because everybody thinks that they just need something to do. I think that we genuinely, what every community needs right now is a little bit more connection that is not on Facebook. That is,
I agree 100%.
community events, Aquafest coming back, the farmers market coming back, and people using those as opportunities to come and connect with their neighbors, with farmers, with small businesses that may not be directly in their community, but find out where they're located at. One of my farmers is Shoe Farms, and they are up in Skagit Valley. And so every spring, my husband and I take a pilgrimage up there to get cinnamon rolls for a Sunday morning breakfast and just check in with them and say, hey, I still appreciate you, even though you're not bringing the cinnamon rolls to me like you are on market day.
Well, and I think that connection is lost right now. People are so behind their phones, behind their computers, and so quick to judge. So, like you're talking about earlier, somebody saying something derogatory about you with the tattoos and stuff, right? I think so. My tagline in PNW Women of Change is to put the human back in humanity, because I feel like we've taken what it means to be human out of the word humanity, right? And I think that you hit on an excellent point, that bringing people out and introducing people to each other and getting to know each other on a human level and experiencing each other on that human level helps us identify with one another, have compassion for one another, and enjoy each other. I really like that. What is one thing that you would love to see in Arlington?
Arlington. You know, I have to be honest. I don't really do anything in Arlington. I come here because this is where I grew up.
Yeah.
So I don't really think too much on that because I'm always here. This is where I went to school. This is where my parents live. So I'm always here.
Yeah.
Trader Joe's. That's my list. Get it done.
Well, I mean, and going back to the whole community aspect of it, again, I would have not known Sarah had I not shown up to a networking event. I would have not known Rachel had I not done a deal with her. And I have grown to love and respect each of these women for the beautiful souls that they are. And I wouldn't have been able to do that had I not gotten out and stuff. And I think that everything is behind a computer and behind a phone anymore. And I'm going back to what you're saying, because it's just hitting it on the head that we need to experience each other. We need to experience and have experiences with each other and memories. You know, one of the things that I love to do is I love when people go out and I'm like, bring me a keychain back, because then I'll put that keychain on my keychain, and every time I look at that keychain, I'll think of that person. Mm-hmm. And it makes me have warm, happy thoughts. Like, You've seen my office. You haven't seen my office. You've seen my office.
It's a happy place.
People have actually called my office a gift shop. It looks, but I have pieces of the community in my office. I could point to one painting and saying this person did that. I could point to this thing hanging on my wall and say that person did that. I love looking at my office and experiencing people through my office. And there's magic in that, right?
Mhm.
And what else do we have? How much longer do we have? Have to go that long?
I just want to point out, in talking with Perry, this is the first time that we even met today, but listening to him talk about his business and the human aspect of that, I think that that's starting to resonate through chambers, through networking events, through just collaborations among people. It was just really refreshing to hear how you're running a business. And when me, the farmer's market manager, thinks of a car dealership, I feel like it's impersonal, but Perry is one of the most successful dealerships, conglomerates in this area, and it's because they're bringing the experience back to being human again. And I love that I'm meeting more and more people that way through these types of events.
So I have a book. It's called A Compassionate Achiever by Christopher Cuck. Amazing book. It's about achieving success through compassion. And then another book that I absolutely love is called Nordstrom's Guide to Customer Excellence. And we are getting back to that model, and I'm very thankful for it, because it's funny because I actually canceled my insurance yesterday through USAA, and I've been a member for 20 years. Like, well, why are you leaving? Why are you leaving? And I said, honestly, because I found an agent that sat down and talked to me, that explained things to me, and I want to give my business to a person, not a business, right? And it's been a missing link, because I think that this whole corporate, like, just buy things and all that kind of stuff detached us from those experiences, like you're talking about, giving that human experience instead of just a numbers experience. Anything else that you have to add?
I mean, that's my business, is the human experience. Farmers markets are exactly that. When people have questions, they want to ask the info booth about, well, what farmer's organic? I say, go talk to the farmer, because one, I'm not going to be able to answer that for you. Two, you need to understand the basis of being certified organic. That costs tens of thousands of dollars to a farmer every single year. And they can operate the same way without paying for that certification, so they just don't have a sticker on their boxes. So go talk to them about their process, and they are more than happy to tell you, because they are the ones in the dirt every single morning, and they're the ones doing it. Same with the crafter. Well, I'm looking for something. Talk to the vendor. They might be able to make you something custom. We've had vendors that have repeat customers, because they come back and they're like, you made the most beautiful bracelet for, a gift or something like that. And it's just one of those things where you're willing to open up and have the conversations, and not just, we call it the zombie shuffle at the farmer's market, where people just kind of scooch by the booths and kind of look and kind of don't look. And it's like, go in and experience, have that uncomfortable conversation, be present. Yeah.
And I've kind of experienced that through my group. I've run stop and shops where I have vendors come out, and I love supporting local artisans and women business owners and stuff, because then they're excited. These vendors are excited to talk to the clients about it. So like you're saying, go talk to them. Like, what can they do for you? Open the dialogue. And I think that because of computers and telephones and all that kind of stuff, a lot of people don't open the dialogue. And I feel like
They're losing social skills.
yeah. Well, and somebody once told me, and I've 20 years ago, and it's really now, but that we live in a microwave day and age where people want it, and they want it now. They don't want to do investigation. They don't want to open the dialogue. They don't, and so it's important, in order for us to all be human, is to get excited for other people and allow them to explain things. What is that 30 seconds or 2 minutes that you're listening to somebody explain what they do? What does that cost you outside of your ego in 30 seconds or 2 minutes? But yet you're giving them so much by listening to them. It's amazing.
And then to put my social media hat on, if you do experience something like that with somebody, with anybody in this room, go onto social media and tell your friends about it. Tag the artist, tag the baker, tag anybody that you've purchased something from in your social media to just help share that. And then we create that community and more of that human experience while pushing the two worlds together.
I love it. I love when somebody in my group and I buy something from them or they make something for me or somewhere else and I post it, and I love it because then just by posting my experience, I help that person get business. And it's like, wait a second. So it took me 45 seconds to make that post, but that other person got 2 new clients out of it. I mean, that's organic networking at its best, right? Any last words of wisdom, Miss Rachel?
Not really. No.
Let's just ask you real quick because you're from Lake Stevens. What does Lake Stevens mean to you?
Family just reminds me of growing up, being with my family, going out on the lake with my cousin, going boating, laying out by the sun all day. Like it's where I grew up. It's home.
I kind of like it out here because it's off the beaten path.
Yeah, it was really off the beaten path when I lived here because nobody knew what the trestle was. What is that? Where are you going? I live under a rock somewhere. That's where I live. Nobody knew where it was at.
That's funny because that's me in Palm Springs. When I grew up in Palm Springs, there was nothing there. Nothing.
Now it's totally different. Yep.
Yeah. Any last words that you would like to add?
Support your farmers markets every single week. It's not just a one-time deal. They need you every week, whether it's Lake Stevens or Arlington or Monroe or Everett. Support them.
Awesome. And supporting local, what I like to say is keep local money on local tables, right? Let's support each other and keep our local money on local tables. Let's lift up our local vendors. Let's lift up our local people with brick and mortar stores, and stop farming everything out. I didn't think that 5 years ago because I wasn't in the headspace to think about it. But now more than ever, it's super important that we support each other as best as we can, post the things that we buy, and post our experiences so that we can collectively come together to lift each other up. So that's all right. I think that's it.
We think that's it. Thank you very much. Thank you. Real quick, let's give a round of applause to our panelists here today. Thank you, Erin, Sarah, and Rachel. Appreciate you guys being here today. Thank you very much. Okay. Does everybody have their red tickets? Lana, did you get a red ticket? Anybody need a red ticket? I've got. Everybody got them? Got them? Lana, did you get a ticket? You came in late. Do you need one? No? Do you want one? Do you need one? We'll get you one. Come on, let's give you one. We'll give you a ticket too. You might want to win something. We got some prizes to give away here really quick. We have prizes today from, you can keep that one. I get to throw this one. We'll mix it up here. Excellent. Cool. All right, a couple of prizes to give away. We have a prize from Ace Handyman, a prize from Marysville Toyota, and a prize from our caterer today. Do you want to say anything? You look like you need to head out. Do you want to say anything real quick, before we draw your prize? Unforgettable Eats. Did our catering today have everybody enjoy the food? It was good stuff, right? Yeah, excellent. Nice job. Thank you, Ruth, very much. Appreciate your fantastic work every month and at every event that I've ever been to. Your food's been excellent. So let's draw for that real quick. Draw. Ladies and gentlemen, real quick, this is Luke and Hayden. They are with the LSHS DECA Club. They are here on their spring break, so thanks for being here today. The guys appreciate it. I know you might have had something better to do than hang out with us on your spring break, but we're glad you're here. So thanks for Hayden, why don't you go ahead and grab one of those tickets out of there, and we will draw our first one for the Unforgettable Eats $25 gift card. What's the last 3 numbers on there?
581.
581. Hey, that's you. Excellent. I'll take that one. I'll take this one here. Thank you. 581. Awesome. Okay, so we got your thing here. Hang on, let me grab that. Awesome. The next one, let's do Ace Handyman Services. Amber, where you're here. Excellent. There you go. Congratulations.
Hi guys, you guys have seen me a couple of times already, but I'm Amber with Ace Handyman Services. We are done a lot of business, well, so far with Kelly. We got to move some furniture with her, so she'll probably have us out again. Yes, we move everything. Like, you know, you need a towel rack moved, we'll move the towel rack for you. I mean, it's pretty simple. But yes, just a little bit about us. Like I said, we are franchise owned, so we do have that ACE name, but we are individually owned. We're in the relationship business, but we happen to fix things, so that's kind of our go-to. We can do anything. Right now, we're actually doing a huge bathroom remodel in Kenmore. Completely gutted it out, tiled the entire shower. Now we're putting her fixes in there. So, and we'll do anything as, I mean, geez, we've done stuff in Arlington businesses. We're going out and weeding and putting mulch down. So if you guys need any work or know anybody that needs some work, just come reach out to us. You'll probably be talking to me if you call the office. So.
Have you go ahead and draw one out of there. She brought the bag. She doesn't know what it is, but she's giving it away. So what's that? 599 right there. Excellent. Here you go. Congratulations. Thank you for being here today, Patty. We appreciate it. All right, perfect. Thanks. And we have one more gift to give away. Perry from Marysville Toyota's here today.
Well, thanks everybody. Glad to be here. I'm Perry Watson, one of the co-owners of Marysville Toyota. We opened up our business in July of 18. And the first thing I wanted to say was I want to congratulate all of the business owners who survived the pandemic. We have every Saturday a motivational meeting, and we were talking about this is our season. A season that we have all come through, and I really want to thank Rachel, Sarah, and Erin for those words talking about the personal connection that we all need as we come out. And I really wanted my employees to remember the history as we leave that season and enter this season. We need to understand and remember all the ones who passed and all the things that we went through and went through that historic time together. And the one thing I don't want them to forget is another key date is March 12th. March 12th was the day that the mask mandate was removed. And I think that's something we'll all remember. But we are a dealership who sells Toyota, but more importantly, our job is to make sure you have the best buying and service experience you've ever had. And to do that, we came up with a different way of selling cars. We call it the modern retailing, whereby our prices posted is considered a negotiation free. Our best price is already posted, no need to negotiate. There is no finance office. You deal with one person all the way through. Our sales reps aren't paid on commission, they're bonus. And then when we open our business, something magical happened. You know, the fact that we are focused last month on women and businesses, something magical happened. Our business traditionally has been a male-dominated business. But when we changed our model, something magical happened. One woman showed up, two women showed up, three women showed up. So all of a sudden, we find ourselves probably the most unique dealership in the area. 45% of our staff are female. And specifically, 50% of the management team, 60% of our sales reps, 50% of the service advisors, 13% of the technicians, and on and on and on. But more importantly, it is the warmest, coolest place that you've ever experienced. And with that, we hear about all these things about millennials and Zs and they're lazy and that's not true. 63% of our staff are millennials and Z. They just like to do things differently. So it's a very cool, very, very warm business. So one of the things I want to tell you is that everybody may not know that, or probably know that cars have been in short supply. And so if you're struggling trying to buy new vehicles, it's because of a lot of things, supply chains and Just for example, one of the things I track, because I'm anal about it, is like right now, you may not know, but there were 270,000 cases of COVID in South Korea yesterday, and Vietnam, 95. So they're experiencing what we had in January that is affecting the supply chain, particularly in China and other places, Australia, who didn't go through what we did, but that's affecting us as relates to the supply chain. But more importantly, one of the things that we did as Marysville Toyota, because of our ethics and honor and our Christian values, are on display in how we do business. We did not mark up our cars like a lot of the other dealerships. As a result of that, we have a really high demand. And if you place an order for a vehicle, it's probably going to take 60 to maybe 90 days to get it. But more importantly, we're not going to take advantage of the fact, because we wouldn't want that done to us. So one of the things that we really focus on in our business is feel. My favorite saying that we really fashion our business after is the great Maya Angelou. And she said the following: people may forget what you've said, people may forget what you've done, but they'll never forget how you make them feel. So what we're about is to make sure you feel great when you leave there. And don't take my word for it. I am so proud of what we've done in 4 years. Read our reviews. We have the highest Google scores of any car dealership in the area. We have the highest. We're number one in loyalty from a Toyota perspective. And we're just trying to win customers one at a time. And last point, as a member of the community, we understand our solemn value is not to become takers. We are givers for the community. We want to be a partner with Lake Stevens and the other communities that we serve. So we're here to be a partner with you. We're here to help other entrepreneurs relative to however we can, because those who are entrepreneurs know it's very lonely, very hard. We have to count on each other to support each other. And so we want to welcome your patronage. But more importantly, my father told me about creating a safe way station. For those who don't know what a way station is, it's a friendly place you can stop. So our dealership is a place you can come have a cup of coffee. You don't have to just come and buy a car, but we're there to be a place that you can come to. We're part of the community. And so we just are pleased to be here to serve the community and to do good business. And we appreciate the opportunity to be a member of this chamber.
Thank you, sir. Excellent. Thank you very much, Perry. We appreciate you too. Grab one of those out of there. 586. Hey, that's Amber. This table's just passing stuff around here. There's Perry bought this fantastic little Bluetooth speaker, so that one's congratulations. Yeah, well done. There you go. Perfect. Excellent. Oh, that's fantastic. Thank you, everybody, for being here today. Real quick, just a couple of quick notes before we send you back outside in that beautiful sunshine. I need to thank my sponsors, our inspired members, including Waste Management, Heritage Bank, Rehab Extraordinaire, First Financial Northwest Bank, and Marysville Toyota. And our vibrant members is our top level of our memberships, Ace Hardware and Community Transit. Thank you very much to our panelists today, Sarah, for kind of working with me and kind of getting us all organized, and Erin, Sarah, and Rachel for being part of our panel today. Remind you, next month we have AWB, the association, or excuse me, wrong one. The Washington Retail Association folks coming doing retail in a post-COVID era. Should be a really exciting one. Watch for details about. We'll get that up, and you can sign up and join us next month right here in this building. And hopefully we'll be closer to having more parking. So maybe, fingers crossed. No, Kim doesn't know. He's like, yeah. Anyway, so thank you again, everybody, for joining us, and we will see you next month. Enjoy the sunshine. Thank you. Oh, one more word of note, too, if we could get chairs folded and put on the rack back over there, as well as right over by the door, there are boxes of Safe Start kits. It has hand sanitizers, some masks, some gloves, some things like that. If you could use that for your business, or you know someone in a business that might need that, feel free to please grab one of those on your way out the door. The box is right next to the registration table as you came in. Thanks, everybody. Take care.
me down easy. For your love for me is gone. Let me down easy. Since you feel to stay here alone. I know it's all over, but the last goodbye. Oh, let me down easy. 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 When you pass by me, say hello once in a while. When you pass by me, baby, doesn't hurt so much to smile. We promise that we'd still be friends till the very end. Begging you, baby, let me down easy. Let me down easy. For your love for me is gone. Let me down easy. Since you feel to stay here alone. I know it's all over, but the last goodbye. Oh, let me down easy. 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 Her name is Noelle. I have a dream about her. She rings my bell. Got gym class in half an hour. Oh, how she rocks in khakis and tube socks. But she doesn't know who I am. And she doesn't give a damn about me. 'Cause I'm just a teenage dirtbag baby. I'm just a teenage dirtbag baby. Listen to Iron Maiden, baby, with me. Ooh. Her boyfriend's a dick. He brings a gun to school and he'd simply kick my ass if he knew the truth. He lives on my block and he drives in Iraq, but he doesn't know who I am, and he doesn't give a damn about me. 'Cause I'm just a teenage dirtbag baby. I'm just a teenage dirtbag baby. Listen to Iron Maiden, baby, with me. Ooh. She doesn't know what she's missing. She doesn't know what she's missing. Now I feel like moon. It's prom night and I am only lo and behold. She's walking over to me, this must be fate. My lip starts to shake. How does she know who I am? And why does she give a damn about? I've got to take us to Iron Maiden, baby. Come with me Friday, don't say maybe. I'm just a teenage dirtbag baby like you. Ooh.